Hi, this is River Wang. I'm recording the Think Aloud for my Synchronous Activity 2. This is continuing from Asynchronous Activity 1. The student level is still 9 to 12, and their proficiency level is novice low. They would know the basic factual conversation in highly familiar context. Answer simple and direct questions. My activity 2 will focus on PF3D. My students determine their next steps towards improvement of performance. I provide them 2 online tools to create a set of flashcards using vocabulary learned from asynchronous activities. And I also provide them a software that's also a program on the web to show them how to learn to write Chinese characters. By keying into the pinyin, students will be able to hear the pronunciation of each character and follow stroke by stroke to learn to write. I'm going to show you here the Quizlet. The very first one, I already key in several terms. At the beginning of the creating a set, you will key in greeting in English and give a short description. And at the bottom, you put in Chinese pinyin at the left-hand side, put in English on the right-hand side. And they would put in Ni Hao, for example. I can go ahead and go on there and do pinyin. You can tap on those. They give you extra space for you to key in more stuff, like "wo." For example, if you want to type in "wo," that's I in Chinese, and then you put on the right hand side, you're going to put in translation I, and then you save it. That will give you a set of flashcard now, and then the students, they can practice on the flashcard with the pronunciation and translation at the same time. Next word will be 再见, goodbye, and 我 means I. In this way, the students, they can practice on and off on the interactive screen. For example, when I type in, let's go back there. When I type in a word, pinyin in there. If I say 你, they give a whole set of characters to choose from. And in the synchronized activity, we're going to do this all together, all the student and teacher. And you're going to choose the right one over there. That's how I show them how do you do the right characters. And this is the way that you type in Chinese in Quizlet. And they also have scatter games for the students to start a game. Everybody can start at a different time, and they will record your speed to see how familiar you are with this program. By the end of this test or this game, the student can assess themselves how well they know the vocabulary they just learned. And the second activity we're going to do will be the writing. And I'm going to go back to the home side. This website has 2 versions. You can go on the pure Chinese version, and you can click on pinyin, or you can use, for the novice little kids, they probably not familiar with so many new words yet. So I'll encourage them to use English, but when they type into pinyin, they have to use the Chinese pinyin. For example, 你. Then you can search for the words. Again, there's a whole set of Chinese characters. They have to recognize which is the right 你. And this one will give them the stroke writing. How do you write these words? They also give the pronunciation while they're writing the strokes. And the students can go back and forth. They can stop anytime. They can pause it, or they can play again, and that way they can practice again, repeatedly until they are familiar with these words. These are the 2 activity I do in the classroom with my students, which they all have a MacBook, and I project this on the board, or we can do it in the internet on the Google Hangout, and everybody can participate together. So with that, I would be able to enable the kids to project their own progress, and they can determine their next steps towards improvement of performance. That's a focus on PF3. And in regard to Ed Dixon's transition between asynchronous and synchronous activity, he mentioned that students can self-correction using Wimba voice board. And for his transition to synchronous learning, he mentioned the interaction in Adobe Pro Online Classroom. That online classroom enables students to read and hear each other through Adobe Pro Online Classroom, which includes written chat room and oral chat room. I learned a lot of online tools for synchronous and asynchronous learning in this class. I'm happy to be able to build a Google site for consolidating all my needs of documents and videos, and the reflection is very helpful. Thank you.